Yeah, I'm excited to share this. This is a presentation that we've designed for businesses of all different sizes about sustainability, health, equity, and kindness. And what I will say is that as far as the agenda, and of course, I'm getting blocked here by I don't even know how to move it out. So weird that the screen, when you're sharing, it's sort of got this banner that makes it so I can't even see what's up. So sorry about that. So I want to share about what the Alliance is and what is sustainability, and then a little bit about our campaign and about the business program. And then I'd like to just share about the business case for sustainability, some of the challenges that we're facing now, a new perspective on our planet, and the natural step, a very powerful approach to sustainability. And then, oh, not sure why it is. Oh, there. I want to share some examples from small to large companies, but I can't show this many examples just because of the time that we have. So I'm just going to show a few of the examples, and wish I could remove this ribbon, which is blocking me. And then, wow. Okay, I see. And then actions you can take for sustainability, health, equity, and kindness. And we won't have a chance to do all of them, but I'll just give you a sort of a sample and then open up to any questions and discussion. Does that sound okay? And if you want, you can give any kind of feedback that you have. I would welcome that using this QR code. And I'll put it up again in a little bit. So the Alliance was created 40 years ago. We just had our 40th anniversary celebration. We did it at French Meadow with Francis Moore-Lappé, as I mentioned last month. And it was really a wonderful, wonderful event, very inspiring and uplifting. And we have a free newsletter that comes out each week that is really, it's got great articles and all kinds of things. And so if you go to our website, you can get a copy of it. And yeah, and just today we're working, it comes out on Wednesdays. So we have a great new piece about the debate over carbon credits and what's good and what's bad about them. So very interesting discussion. And then we have our S.H.E Kindness campaign, and that's really our primary focus. We developed a declaration of co-creation and interdependence that's on our website, and would welcome you in signing that if you like what it says. And then we have 3 different programs. We've got a policy program, a business program, and a youth and school program. And I'll say a little bit more about them. So the definition that we developed, really one of the first definitions in the world about sustainability, and that is that it's got 4 parts: ecologically sound, economically viable, socially just, and humane. It embodies our highest values in terms of how we treat people, animals, and the planet. And so for us, sustainability is a North Star. It's really a vision of the world we'd like to create. And we see it from this holistic, integrative perspective that really embodies all aspects of life. And it encompasses a wide range of approaches like regeneration, resilience, permaculture, circular economy, and other cutting edge tools that are used. Another way of looking at it is the triple bottom line. So you can call it the 3 Ps for people, planet, profits, the 3 Es for equity, ecology, economy, or just social, environment, financial. Whatever approach, we think these are really essential. And there are a lot of different methods that are used for achieving it. We believe in each one of these and think they each can be very powerful and effective. So we support all of them. So any questions and comments about sustainability or the Alliance? Does that give some sense? Yeah? Okay. So this campaign for sustainability, health, equity, and kindness, which we call the S.H.E Kindness campaign, its mission is to bring about fundamental systems change. by supporting personal and organizational transformation and impactful public policies and campaigns. And our goal is to build a powerful alliance of more than 1 million people and groups by supporting and amplifying the work of aligned organizations and inspiring, engaging, and empowering people to take action on everything from lifestyle and consumption to policy changes. Our declaration is designed to build broad support. It's a bold, inspiring call to action. Our policy program, we work with allied partners, mostly in Washington, but some groups here in Minnesota, to successfully support public policies and high impact campaigns and create real key tipping points for sustainability, health, equity, and kindness. Our business program is designed to share powerful and impactful presentations with a wide range of businesses. And we're seeking to engage employees and have them commit to at least taking one action in each of the 4 areas of sustainability, health, equity, and kindness for a month so that it becomes a habit. We're trying to build business support for S.H.E kindness and really shift corporate practices and culture. So we welcome, if there are any businesses that you know that would like to have a presentation, we would love to do a presentation for them. And then our youth and school program, we're just initiating that, and we're going to do 20 presentations to diverse middle and high school groups, schools and groups, including at least 10 in underserved communities. And we really want to inform, inspire, and engage young people. And again, we want them to take at least one action for a month in each of those 4 areas, so it becomes a habit. And then we'll give them e-prizes and have a S.H.E kindness creativity prize also for various forms of expression that they may undertake, whether it's poetry or a TikTok video, a song, whatever form of expression. And then we'll work with them to create a Students for Sustainability and also a sustainability team at each school or organization. And we're particularly interested in those schools that have never had these kinds of resources. So it's national. So if there are any schools that you know that might be interested in this, we would love to do it. It's a 40-minute presentation. And I think it's a lot of fun. It's very engaging. So any questions, comments about any of that? Does that all make sense? Good. So I want to just share quickly about the business case for sustainability. And I think that this Harvard Business Review study really lays out some of the powerful aspects. First is risk management, that the sustainability, the value can be as high as 70% of earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. And it has a huge impact in terms of risk management. And you can definitely improve financial performance. You can see the numbers here. Lowered cost of capital, positive trends in stock prices, better operating performance. Across the board, there are very well documented better financial performance metrics. It's a great way to build customer loyalty. Nearly 2/3 of consumers across 6 markets internationally believe they have a responsibility to purchase products that are good for the environment and society. And overall sales revenue can increase up to 20% due to corporate responsibility practices. And another study found that revenues from sustainable products and services grew 6 times the rate of overall company revenues. So there's a clear correlation. Then there's employee retention, 55% increased morale where companies have strong sustainability programs. The turnover rate is reduced 25 to 50%, which is worth a lot of money. Improved employee loyalty, 38% compared to non-ESG companies, and 90 to 200% replacement costs due to reduced quit rates. So pretty impressive numbers when you look at it in terms of the benefits. So any questions and comments about those numbers and facts? Does that make sense? Yeah, good. So I want to get into some of the challenges that we all are quite aware of. You have climate, which we've talked lots about, health with the pandemic and other threats, anti-democracy movement, and of course, injustice. So that's what we're facing right now and many more challenges, but it doesn't have to be this way. And what we're focused on is this question: is there another story, a different perspective? And the answer is yes. There really is another story and perspective that we want to share, and it's really filled with hope and possibility. So that's what I want to share with you. And it's something that we can co-create. So beginning with our home, the Earth. So our home, Mother Earth, Spaceship Earth, as Buckminster Fuller said, is really quite extraordinary. Every astronaut that's gone up into outer space has said it was a transformational experience to look back on the planet and see it with no political boundaries whatsoever. One whole big ecosystem. Astronaut Donald Williams said, "For those who have seen the Earth from space, the experience most certainly changes your perspective. The things that we share in our world are far more valuable than those which divide us." And German astronaut Sigmund Hahn said, "Before I flew, I was already aware of how small and vulnerable our planet is, but only when I saw it from space in all its ineffable beauty and fragility did I realize that humankind's most urgent task is to cherish and preserve it for future generations." So what I want to do with you tonight is to actually have a different perspective on the planet. So anybody notice anything different about this view of the planet? This is one of the most duplicated pictures in the world. Anything different about this?
It's upside down from how we'd normally look at it.
Exactly. So we're going to look tonight at the same planet, but from a bit different perspective, with the hope that we can sort of think in new ways about the planet. So as Einstein said, the significant problems we face cannot be solved at the same level of thinking we used when we created them. So we have to think outside the box. So that's what we're going to do. So I want to share 4 great things about our planet that environmentalists never really talk much about. And I think it's too bad, because this is really great and important news. So the first is that our planet has an extraordinary design. It's actually designed to get cleaner, purer, more abundant, and more diverse all on its own, simply with the energy from the sun. So it's got an extraordinary design. We are so lucky. And I want to just take you into this evolution that is amazing, that got us to this place where the planet is actually able to do all of this. So originally the Earth was a toxic ball with radioactive materials and heavy metals swirling around in a gaseous state. But slowly it was transformed about 3.4 billion years ago by green cells and the energy of the sun, as well as with the benefit of mushrooms and mycelium and amazing transformation of the planet. And what's happened is you can see all these different activities in on our planet as it was originally evolving. There was no such thing as waste. Nature does not know what waste is. Everything becomes food for something else, which is really quite extraordinary. Then we took this from where we were with the planet, and I'm just wondering if anybody can guess, if we took a basketball and we made it the size of, if the Earth were made the size of a basketball, how thick the biosphere would be. That's this area from the bottom of the oceans up, way up into the atmosphere. That's the life zone, the biosphere. How thick the biosphere would be. Anybody take a guess?
I think it's like 60 miles, right?
Yeah, it's pretty big. So how thick would it be on a basketball?
Less than the sheet of paper.
Yes. And I somehow this did not animate, but yes, I didn't want to show that. But yes, So all of the things that we're doing to the planet, the carbon that goes up, methane, all the mined metals and minerals, the pollutants that we have, all go into this tiny little sheet of paper. And that's really the challenge from the standpoint of humans and life on this planet. And in fact, for a long time, human beings lived within this biosphere without much of a problem. But since the Industrial Revolution, we've been doing all of this mining of metals and minerals, burning of fossil fuels, manufacturing all kinds of new chemicals, and destroying the very ecosystems that we have. And really, that's just taken place in the last few seconds of the whole Earth's time, if you were put it on a 24-hour time clock. So what do we do about this? Well, the good news is that we do not have an energy shortage. I mean, we often talk about how we were going to run out of, of petroleum and fossil fuels, but really what people don't realize is that we get 13,000 times more solar energy that is used by the entire global society in a year. In fact, 1 hour of sunlight striking the planet produces more than enough energy to run everything on the planet. So we do not have an energy shortage on our planet. The third thing is that we actually have abundant materials to make everything we need. We do not have a shortage of most of these materials. We have large supplies of aluminum, phosphorus, nickel, platinum, chromium, and copper. There are some precious metals and minerals, but many of those are in our landfills, so we can actually mine many of those. And then we talk about running out of oil. That's really not what the issue is. We have 233 times the world's consumption of oil. The problem is that we can't use all that oil. We can't really, and probably shouldn't be burning any more oil. So we do have the resources that we need. And finally, the last great piece of good news, it's not bad to be human. We are part of the natural cycle on the planet. So those are 4 pretty great pieces of news about our planet and its design. And the natural step sort of builds on those 4, and it shares 4. The natural step was developed in Sweden by some amazing systems thinkers. Dr. Karl-Henrik Robert was the founder of it, and he is an ecologist who led Sweden's no smoking campaign, and then created the natural step and developed these 4 principles for a healthy, abundant future of sustainability. So I want to share what the 4 principles are. So the first of them is to limit what we take from the earth. So here we're talking about minimizing the mining of metals and minerals and the burning of fossil fuels. So the question is, can we do this? And the answer is absolutely. We can do recycling programs, we can do take back of electronic waste. There are very simple things that can be done, along with renewable energy and alternative forms of transportation. So this is something that we absolutely can do. The second is to avoid toxic substances that we make. So here we're talking about, can we find substitutes for hazardous pesticides, plastics, chemicals? And the answer is absolutely. Organic food, natural cleaning products and personal care products, and alternatives to plastic. So we can do this. The third is to respect the earth. So we need to protect biodiversity, ecosystems, and natural resources. Can we do this? Absolutely. Circular economy, composting food scraps. 28% of our household waste is those food scraps, and we absolutely can have organics programs, like organics collection programs. Lots of ways of saving water and obviously protecting ecosystems. And the last, and I think really one of the most profound, is to really be able to meet people's fundamental needs, remove these barriers so that everybody can have their fundamental needs met. And this is done on many different levels through health and wellness programs, gardening, appreciating and being in nature, and then also joining together and speaking up. So I really feel that we can address this if we really decide that we want to. So what I want to just focus on for a second is the work of Dr. Manfred Max Neef, who really sought to address this fourth principle of the natural step about meeting people's fundamental needs. He got the Alternative Nobel Prize for his work in bottom-up people-centered sustainable development. And he's known as the barefoot economist for his work in Latin America and Africa, head of a big university in Chile, wrote an amazing book. And his basic idea is that we can meet people's fundamental needs with unlimited amounts of learning, laughter, love, community, and meaningful work, while at the same time eliminating what we don't want: stress, expense, pollution, and violence. So I want to just briefly share about this idea. You know, I was raised with Maslow and his hierarchy of needs. I thought it was so wonderful. And, you know, you go up from physiological to safety to love and belonging, esteem, and finally, at the very top, self-actualization. And I thought that was all pretty wonderful. But then when I was in northern Sweden with the leaders of the Natural Step community program, they shared with me about the work of Max Neef. And I really feel it takes it to a whole new level. So I want to just share these four aspects that Max Neef put out. First, fundamental needs. According to Max Neef, they are defined and possible to classify. We know what they are. They're not airy-fairy. There are 10 of them: subsistence, protection, security, affection, understanding, participation, leisure, creativity, identity, meaning, freedom, and transcendence. And I did presentation in New York, and there was this great poet and singer-songwriter who took the first night of a workshop that I led on it and came back the next day and shared this wonderful sort of taking of these 10 fundamental needs. So a sustainable self is composed of a physical body that is healthy, exercises, eats a proper diet, gets ample rest, and is protected and secure with ample shelter and surrounded by family and friends, and is allowed to express affection and share feelings, desires, and emotions so that you gain understanding of yourself, others, and the world around you, which lets you participate and serve and contribute to your family, friends, causes, charities, and to allow yourself to be contributed to, which can be balanced by leisure, to take time out, to not do, to do things for the sake of pure enjoyment, to relax, which allows for creativity, to allow your own essence, your distinct personality to come through in any form it wishes, be it music, art, dance, writing, sports, which gives you a sense of identity, that special something in you that makes you distinctly you, which leads to transcendence and one's connection to all things, to know that you are one small piece of the whole, which liberates you to freedom and control of your own destiny. Your choices, your intention, and your actions create your reality. What do you think of those? Sound good? Yeah. You know, he put it on a single sheet of paper. I looked at that sheet of paper and I said, that's all I wanted in my life. It's on one sheet of paper. So I think it's actually quite profound. The second thing that Max Neef says is that these fundamental needs that we have are the same in all countries and throughout all history. These needs have never changed. How we have fulfilled the needs has changed, but the needs themselves, they define what it means to be a human being. Everybody has these same needs. The third thing he says, which is really profound, is that they're not interchangeable. In other words, you can have a lot of one of them, and it doesn't do anything about meeting the other fundamental needs. So it becomes extremely important how that we recognize that we all have these fundamental needs. So you can acquire lots of money, but it doesn't mean that you can meet these other fundamental needs for creativity, identity, meaning, participation, leisure, all kinds of other elements. And in fact, he defines poverty as not a lack of money, but poverty is any unfulfilled fundamental need. And based on that, he argues that the US is perhaps the poorest country in the world in terms of meeting fundamental needs. And the last thing he says is that you can have actually more satisfaction, but use less stuff. We don't need more stuff to have more satisfaction. And in fact, this is perhaps the best antidote to the disease, our consumption disease of consuming the planet to death, of affluenza, because people can actually have their fundamental needs met and not substitute by going out and shopping. So any questions or comments about any of that, about fundamental needs or the natural step? Is that making sense? Yeah? Okay. So I'm just going to share a few quick examples of some of the companies that we've written case studies about. How many of you are aware of Interface? Any of you had any connections with Interface before or heard about Interface as an example? It's really been one of the great leading companies. It was founded by Ray Anderson, who's known as the Green CEO. They've been a global leader in modular and carpet flooring and using biophilic design principles, and they've been really pursuing sustainable business with the least environmental impact. So they were really one of the most toxic industries you could find. And so it's a remarkable story of transformation. Everything from petroleum that they used, PVC, fiberglass, dye water with heavy metals, huge amounts of energy and carbon dioxide, old carpet getting landfilled. And, you know, as Ray said, he was a dear friend, he's no longer alive, but as he said, for their first 21 years, he never gave one thought to what we were taking from the earth or doing to it. And all they were trying to do is meet regulations. But since that time, he's acknowledged that we are in a crisis. It's a funeral march to the grave, and we've got to do something to reverse it. And he's called on business and industry, the largest, most powerful, pervasive institutions, has to take action. And that's exactly what he has, created at Interface. And it's an amazing, inspiring story. So at this point, 76% of the energy they use, of their energy that they use, is made from renewable energy. They've done a 96% reduction of market-based emissions at their carpet manufacturing. 85% of their waste has been reduced that went to landfills before. 50% of the materials in their flooring are recycled or bio-based. It's really a remarkable set of accomplishments. They signed the climate pledge. They have carpet tiles that are carbon neutral, UN Sustainable Development Goals that they've been supporting, and just a whole range of great programs. And you can read about it in Ray's book, Confessions of a Radical Industrialist. It's really a wonderful and inspiring book about how you can take a very highly polluting industry and change it. Ben & Jerry's, most of you have had Ben & Jerry's. They put a price on carbon, and they reduced their emissions by 45%, or will by 2030. They're transitioning to 100% renewable energy, divesting fully from fossil fuel, stopping deforestation of old growth forests, adopting regenerative ag, advocate for climate justice and human rights. They've established an internal carbon tax in 2015. Their 100% of their packaging is free of petrochemical-based plastic by 2025. Food waste has been reduced significantly, as well as its carbon, and they've gotten a score of 110 compared to other businesses, which is at 50 for B Corp. Really remarkable kinds of changes. They are definite corporate activists. 15% of all their advertising was dedicated to supporting global activism campaigns. They've been investing in Black owned and Black-led suppliers, livable wages, and community engagement in many different ways. So any insights or comments from either of those examples? They make sense?
What is the B rating that you mentioned?
The 110,
Yeah,
that means they've gone way above what other B Corp benefit corps, corporations. These are corporations that have made a commitment to triple bottom line. So they get third-party certified, and they have to submit all of their metrics to the B Corp nonprofit. Yeah. Any other questions? IKEA, amazing. I love that their goal is to inspire and enable more than 1 billion people to live better every day within the bounds of the planet. This was the very first company in the world that used the natural step. IKEA was the first company, I'm sorry, Interface was the first company in the United States, but this IKEA was the very first company that used the natural step, completely changed a large number of their products rather. More than 73% of their raw materials is being recycled or reused. They have 240,000 solar panels. A friend of mine is the head of their supply chain for North America, and they're just continually doing inspiring stuff. 100% renewable electricity, 46% waste reduction. They're really leaders in using safe and non-toxic chemicals. So it's not only inexpensive, but it's very low toxicity. And they were ranked 7th among all top global brands. Business sales have grown dramatically from the work that they're doing, and a lot of education and awareness. Their foundation has been supporting all kinds of great work in renewable energy and regenerative ag. They've been providing, and they're challenging other companies to do the same, $1 billion in funding to reduce greenhouse gas emissions at the grassroots level, given $306 million to fund organizations fighting climate change. So what any ideas that might be applicable to you from what you've heard? Helpful? And then I think I'll finish with Patagonia, one of my favorite companies. I mean, these are 4 of my favorite companies. They have just been such a huge leader in terms of their work with nature, the Common Threads initiative, where they're taking back products for repair, recycling, reuse, resale, and 45 tons of clothes that they've taken back and made it into 34 tons into new clothing. So it's really remarkable what they've put into place, very committed. And I love this ad that they did, "Don't buy this jacket." They want to promote a reimagined mindset. And it was really a great success. They repaired more than 30,000 items. Sales increased as a result of being environmentally and socially responsible. They're part of the 1% for the planet. They have given huge amounts of money, $100 million to grantees to preserve biodiversity. They have 64,000 workers that are participating. And I've known Yvon, and that he has turned over ownership of the company to a trust that is committed to protecting the planet. So the profits go to support more protection of the planet while paying good paying jobs for people. It's really quite remarkable. And Ryan Gellert, who's the CEO, he spoke at the American Sustainable Business Network conference that I've been part of for more than 20 years. And I love that he's so honest. You know, business is not sustainable, and certainly, you know, not where it needs to be. And that includes Patagonia. But they really are committed to doing everything they can to make a difference. So I think that that's really inspiring. And oh, I didn't want to show General Electric. Sorry, I don't know why that slide got in. So any ideas that could make a difference for you that you've heard?
Well, I shared in the chat. I'm very into Patagonia. And I often, when I am shopping for a piece of clothing, will look at their it's called worn wear. And so they just kind of like accept used pieces of clothing and then will sell it to you at a discounted price.
Yep.
And I also last year was in the market for a winter coat. And so I intentionally bought from Patagonia because I knew that I wanted something that somebody out there was going to be willing to and able to repair, right? I would be able to take the coat in 5 or 6 years to the Patagonia store in St. Paul to get it repaired. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's really inspiring, isn't it, Stuart? I mean, not only is your coat going to last a lot longer, but when its end has come, it can be reused, recycled, repaired, or whatever. That's pretty incredible, I think. It's really moving towards that circular economy that we need to do. Very conscious and aware people. Any other comments about that? So and I'm sorry, I can't see the chat. So if you want to, oh, now I can see that. Yeah, I can see it. Any other ideas that you have? Inspired by this? Oops, I'm sorry, I'm just sort of skipping. So I want to just add, there. Just ask where we are, Steve. Do we have more time or not? Are we out of our time?
No, we have another 10 minutes, be fine.
Okay. So here's a QR code. If you want to provide any feedback, I would really welcome that. You can just use your phone and take a picture and the survey will pop up for you if you'd like to give any feedback. And also if you would like to, and I'm happy to give a copy of the presentation or the link to the presentation so that you can have that. But we welcome your feedback. And also can get sign up for our newsletter, that kind of thing. I think then if we have a little bit more time, what I'd like to do is to share the employee or what you can do section that we've developed. And I don't think we'll have time to go through all of the examples. We have 20 examples, but I only selected a few from each of the 4 areas. But this will just give you a sense. I did sort of put in all of the ones for sustainability or the environmental related ones because I thought that would be of interest to you, and then a few from each of the other areas. First, to conserve water and energy, simply take a shorter shower and use an efficient shower head. So instead of the average of 8 minutes, which is the American average for a shower, you can do a shower in 4 minutes. So that's how much water you use. 8-minute shower uses 7,300 gallons of water per year. And that's enough because of the energy use to power a light bulb nonstop for an entire year. So that's, an energy savings as well. You can save 3,000 gallons of water and 6,200 kilowatts of energy a year. And then if you use water-saving shower heads, you can save more than 2,700 gallons of water per year. Very simple things that we can do. You can eco-commute, bike, walk, public transit, carpool, or eco-drive to work. Very simple things. Taking public transportation uses 95% less carbon. Transportation is the largest contributor of US greenhouse gas emissions. The full carbon footprint for biking is 1/10 the emissions of driving per mile. And, eco driving is just doing 3 things, driving the speed limit, avoiding sudden stops and starts, and properly inflating your tires. So you can get a 10 to 40% savings by eco driving. And biking can save you more than $8,000 per year. Yeah, go Stuart. Connect with nature, experiencing nature, protecting nature, planting a seed, or just avoiding littering, picking up trash, and supporting environmental groups and policies. I love this of Arnold. Outdoor activities can connect us to nature. They can improve your mental health. And picking up litter can actually not only clean the environment, but protect wildlife. And it generates positive emotions like serenity and inspiration. Plant-based meals. So the power of our fork can change the world. And consider having a meatless Monday or having even a bigger impact with plant-based meals from healthy organic foods. Animal agriculture is responsible for 18% of human-caused greenhouse gas emissions. Diets higher in plant foods can help prevent chronic diseases. Shifting to a plant-based diet can cut greenhouse gas emissions in half. Tofu requires 74 times less land than beef, and a plant-based diet would save you $1,200 a year. Reimagine. You can make sustainability a reality by co-creating innovative solutions and reducing consumption and supporting impactful campaigns and public policies. So the UN Sustainable Development Goals really are a fabulous global blueprint for a more sustainable future. Donating or recycling clothing can save $500 billion per year if we all did it. Avoiding fast food and consider repurposing clothes before throwing them out, and joining a group and get a sense of, identity and empowerment. So any questions or comments on sustainability, more environmentally focused actions? Those make sense? Any of these inspire you more than another? Like, are you willing to possibly consider doing one of them? Like conserving water and energy? Maybe you already do all of them. Any of them that speak to you?
I think for my wife and I, my wife Liz is a member of the Eco Club, and we've been really working on the shift to a more plant-based diet over the months. And we were doing pretty well prior to that, but I've learned a lot in the last 6 to 12 months, mostly through the Eco Club and just the opportunities to shift. It's not an all or nothing, but whatever we can do to shift on the spectrum is going to help.
Totally agree. That's great, Steve. Tell her I thank her too. It's wonderful.
I live in an apartment building and the laundry is on the ground floor, and right outside of the laundry room is just kind of like the clotheslines that people will use.
Yeah.
And it's such a small thing, but I actually really like it, hanging up the clothes outside.
Yeah.
I feel like they dry just as fast as they do in the dryer. They have, like, I don't know, I like the sensation of the clothes after they've been sun dried. They feel good, right? And for sure, certainly when I'm drying something out that's big, like towels or bedding, I think it must dry faster. So anyways, I've been doing that lately. And honestly, just because of the other benefits that I said, I wasn't thinking that it was saving energy. I just was doing it because I liked it.
I think that's great. That's fabulous, Stuart. Anybody else? So what do we have now? 2 minutes, 3 minutes, Steve?
Yeah, probably 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay. Well, I'll just mention something about health actions, because I think it's important from a physical wellness and mental and emotional well-being. I'll go through these just pretty quickly. Just a few of them I'll share. Getting sleep and moving for at least, sometime every day. Between us as adults, between 18 and 64, we need 7 or more hours of sleep. Helps your immune system, emotional well-being. More than 60% of US adults do not engage in the recommended amount of physical activity, and regular exercise. Movement can help you feel better, de-stress, improve your mood, manage various health conditions, and get better sleep. And then having a consistent sleep schedule. Eating healthy foods, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and organic as much as possible. Minimizing highly processed food. 36% of adults consume fast food every day. Only 10% of all adults in the US meet the fruit and vegetable recommendations. And frozen fruits and vegetables are a great way to prevent food waste. Having a healthy breakfast, eating organic, and avoiding hazardous pesticides and GMOs, as well as antibiotics. And then mental health and well-being, which I think is really important. We now know that amongst adolescents, 70% of them are feeling overwhelmed or eco-anxiety. And it's really showing up in very problematic ways. And that's why we have our school program, which uses some modifications of these same slides. Anxiety disorders affecting 19% of the population, 40 million adults. Empathy is a really powerful tool for reducing anxiety. Laughter has a huge benefits, and especially in reducing stress hormones, and being positive, having friends, and asking for help when it's needed. So is that our time, Steve? Or I'll just show that these are just some of the other for equity. We've got some great stuff about equity. And the idea is we want people to pick some of these other one in each of these areas to take on for a month, so it becomes a habit. So would welcome any other comments, questions.